Okay, I don't know what's going on with this stream today. This is the third time I had to restart it. Anyway, hello and happy Tuesday and all that good stuff. Today I want to work on a few different things, and I have a few announcements to make uh, during the course of the stream. What I want to do, and I'll do it now, and I'll do it sometime in the middle and after. Um, Next week, Tuesday, instead of me screaming on YouTube, I'm going to open up my site, my live online lesson site, and it'd be free for everybody to come. Just hit on it and go to the live lessons, and we're going to do some drum set application as opposed to just drum pad. I think that would be good, and I will do that occasionally. So again, I'm going to put my email me, and I'll email you the link to my site, or I'll try to put the site in here now. Let me try to put the site in here. And my email. I think that would be a nice thing to do instead of just doing drum set application all the time. I mean, drum pad application and exercising, to give you some insight on how to apply this to the actual drum kit. The drum pad is a great tool that we have. Who is this? Mr. Tim, how are you, sir? You email me and I'll send you the link, okay? Now, what I want to do is I just try to loosen up a little bit, but there seems to be something wrong with the stream today, okay? I don't know what, but I had to restart it 2 or 3 times. So if we do that, if it happens again and I restart it, don't go anyplace, just stay here and it'll go back on. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is a few different things. We're going to do singles and doubles as a formula. And we're going to make an R equal something and an L equal something. And I'm going to go into the 16th note formation. And for those who are not familiar with the way I deal with 16th notes, the way I count them, a lot of people count them just slightly different. I like to count them as 1 E and 2, 3 E and 4 E and that's single strokes. And if I'm doing double strokes, it would be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make the right equal 16 single strokes as 4/16, 1 E and. Now that might fall on 3 E and 2 E and or whatever, but whenever you see a right, it's 4 single strokes, 1 E and. Every time you see a left, it's double strokes, starting with the right hand. So if I did line 1 with that formula, line 1 is 1 and 2 and. So I have right, left, right, left. So what I'm going to do now is implement that formula. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and I'll stay on line 1 at a very slow tempo at first. It's like almost like a warm-up. It's a little bit more interesting than just doing full strokes, because I am doing full strokes, but in a different way. I'm going to take, let me put that on 50. Now 50 is really slow. Okay, so if you have any questions, please, just shoot them into the chat, and hopefully I can help you out with it and understand what you're asking. And you have any input, just do it. That would be great. Okay, so here's my tempo. And that's Let me get a cup of coffee first, because my coffee's going to get cold. The air conditioner is on, and my hands are getting tight. Okay, here we go. Okay, 1, 2. You should do the table time first, but I'm not going to do that. That's my 16ths. Now, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. That's line 1. Full strokes. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and do doubles. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 4 E and 1. Now I'll do that for quite some time. This might be a little too fast. Going through some changes here with this computer, so bear with me, gentlemen. Like I said, any questions, you shoot them out. So we have 1, 2, 3, it's hard, 4, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2, 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and a little too slow for me right now. Let me go to 50. Sorry, gentlemen. 50. 1. Zap. 1, 2, 3 E and 4. 1, 2 E and 3 E and 4. Here we go. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Full strokes. 3, 4, 1. That's line 1. Are we on the same page? Do we all understand that? Now, if I hit line 3, for example, it's 2 rights, right, right, left, left. That's going to equal 1 E and 2 E and then you have the left, left, which is going to be doubles. So you have 3 E and 4 E and over again. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 strokes. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and boom. Okay. What's that? Yes, you understand it. Okay. Now, if I did line 5, I'm doing them full strokes. I'm doing them slow. All right. I'm going to pick up the tempo somewhat. And, doing them slow is you're trying to wake up here, and the air conditioner's getting me freezing. So I need the air conditioner on because of the lights. So here we go. We're going to do line 5, which is a right, 1 E and then doubles, 2 E and then right, right, which would be 2 groupings of singles, would be 3 E and 4 E and then it reverses itself. You go into the left, left, right, left, left. So you have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and okay. So now let me do that in tempo for a little bit. Let's try 30 seconds. Hold on, I want to put my timer on. 1, 2, 3, line 5, 4, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2, 3, 4 E and 1 E and 2 E, mistake, 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2, 3, 4, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and there goes 30 seconds. I like to do that for a longer period of time, but I'm just doing some instructional things. And I'm trying to do the full stroke. Remember the full stroke or the free stroke. I'm in the full stroke position, but I'm coming down and it comes right back. 1 E and I'm popping the stick. Okay, so you have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and it's sort of a warm up like the full strokes. And it's good for your hands, and it makes you feel the motion of the stick. 1, E, and 2. You're not in a hurry. You're trying to get the right hand sounding like the left, not like this. Not like that. That's a no-no. So you want to... Now that's at 1 tempo. That's at 50. Let's do line 1 maybe at... Let's go to 90 and see what that sounds like. Here you go. Line 1. It's in the half stroke. You want to do full stroke? You can. I go line 3. It's 2 rights, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Great for your hands. Now, I don't know, you can take it any place you want. If I did line 13, for example, from page 5, you have 4 rights, 1 E and right? 2 E, you have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2. Now put the formula in there. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Makes that transition really nice. Any questions there, Mr. Tim? Anything? It's a good exercise. I really don't have a drum set application for that, but we can make one up, what I do next Tuesday on the drum set. If you're going to attend, remind me. Okay, that's the first part actually. I don't want to do the whole page unless you want me to do a particular line for you. And I'm keeping the tempo, realistic. I'm not, up there at about 150 maybe. And that's kind of moving somewhat. You build some speed. Singles and doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. 4. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. Let's not do the 150. My hands are not there yet today. In a little while. Anyway, it feels good at 90, yeah. But as you pick up the tempo, I got to loosen up. And I just picked up the sticks less than 15 minutes ago. I got to open my hands up. They're kind of stiff. And I will do that again at 150. What I want to do is go to the second part of the lesson, because this is almost like a warm-up, and I should warm up. The way I normally warm up is if I'm doing the vamp, for example, at 160. I will make it 170. All right? I do 4 measures, 8 notes, 4 measures, 8 notes with the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. 3, 2, 3, 4, left hand. 2, 3, let me loosen up. 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, left hand. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, right hand. 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey Tim, you still in there? All right, I need somebody in there before I can do the next lesson, the next part of the lesson. I feel a little loose. All right, what I'm going to do, I guess I'm just talking to you, Mr. Tim. You understand the difference between straight up and down and swung? Yes or no? Straight up and down. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. You understand that? Okay, that's straight up and down. If I swing it, and you'll never see it written out as swung. All right, you understand it. So if I'm playing the eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3, now I'm going to swing it. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that is the way I'm going to. What's going on here? Well, I'll tell you, this stream is really messed up today. All right, now here's how we're going to interpret it. You have the first line of stick control book, page 5. It's a 2-measure increment, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's what you see. Okay? Now, if I said to you, okay, swing it, or play it swung, you'd have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's how you're going to interpret line 1 or the whole page. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to eliminate the lefts. So by me eliminating the lefts, I'm just going to play the rights. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and notice that right hand is accented, and I'm playing that as a free stroke. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now I'm going to get some feedback on this, but it's what I consider linear. Okay, I'm going to make a straight line now of triplets, and I'm going to fill in the balance of the triplets, which you don't hear when you're playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and as say quarter strokes, or you can consider them ghost notes. I'm going to make it a straight line of triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you take that up tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's not up tempo, but it's cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Now take the second line. The second line, the way it's presented on line 2 of page 5, would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now I play swung, and I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I eliminate the lefts and I just play the rights. Are you there? Still there, Tim? I can't. It's not showing you, or whoever else is there. All right. I eliminate the lefts and I play line 2, which is the rights. I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I fill it in with the balance of the triplet. Okay, and I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and So now if I go from line 1, the first measure, to the second measure, over and over again, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we go to line 3. The way line 3 is written in stick control page 5 is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I eliminate the lefts. I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and I fill it in with the triplet, the balance of the triplet to make it a straight line. I'm going to have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and play it up a little bit. You get here we go to line 4. You have in line 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so I eliminate the lefts. I have I'm going to play a swung rather. I'm going to have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and excuse me. Then I'm going to play. I'm going to fill it in. I'm going to eliminate the lefts. I'm going to have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and fill it in the triplets. 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 4 1 2 3 4. Now I can do this with the stick control book, or I can do this with the syncopation book, or for that matter, just about any basic reading book there is. Okay, now I'm just playing, giving examples of mathematical divisions and interpretations. I'm not doing anything musical where we can play a melody, a melodic structure rhythmically. You know, like I don't know if you know Blue Monk. Da ba doo bang, da ba doo bang. Now you can play that, filling in with the triplets, playing the melody line with the right hand. Or, I don't know, there's a couple other tunes I don't want to really get into right now, but I just want to stay with this exercise. Now, like I was saying before, excuse me, I'm going to get, next week on Tuesday, like I said, I'm going to stream, okay, on my site. It's not going to be on YouTube. And you're going to get a drum set application for this. Same interpretation. However, we're going to take it, that was only one-dimensional. We're going to take it, say, two-dimensional. When I say two-dimensional, I'm going to substitute the R's for the bass drum. Okay? And the lefts are going to remain on the snare drum. And that's two-dimensional. Then I'm going to put my left foot heel and toe, which is standard, heel on 1, toe on 2, heel on 3, toe on 4, and I'm going to play the jazz pattern straight ahead. 2, 3, 4. Against that. Hold on. Well, there's actually, Tim, there's nothing really difficult about that. It's just a matter of interpretation. Let me see where I have the syncopation book. What's giving you a problem with it? I don't understand. It's just, if you read the page, where do I have my syncopation? I have them all over the place, and it's like everything else. When you need something, you can't find it. Hold on. Okay. What's giving you problems with this? I don't understand. This is the syncopation book. This is the actually the second edition. The first edition is a little smaller. So explain to me, Mr. Tim, what's giving you the problem. Maybe we could like address that issue. And if you have the syncopation book in front of you and you want to turn to a page, let's say let's go to page, it's 34, syncopation book. It says set 2. You have that. You're on page 34, the first line. Okay, let me just see. Let me put the music stand here. Now, there's a million ways to do this. Well, I say a million, that's just an exaggeration. But if I take page 37 and I say, all right, it's in 4/4, straight up and down, you need to understand that. All right, you have line 1, that's what we're going to stay with. I'm going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I'm not going to hum anything, I'm just going to count it. So I do line 1, I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that was 2 measures. Now that's straight up and down. If I swing it, I'm going to go to the triplet zone, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm going to play the line swung. So I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you understand that so far, Mr. Tim? You have that? Now you're asking me, you're playing triplets on the bottom. I guess let's say one hand, say your left hand. Is that what you're talking about? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and yeah, all right. So now, what I'm doing, first off, you need to understand where is your place with this mentally and your control. Now, if I'm counting and I'm doing it slow, I'm just going to play triplets, no accent, just a straight ahead triplet. 1 and 2. Now I'm going to play what's there with my right hand on a different surface. I'll play over here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and second measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Is that what you're talking about? So if I have 1, 2, a little faster. 1, 2, sorry, 3. Is that what you're talking about? You got that? It's simple. You need to slow it down. So if I'm taking the triplet, I'm going 1 and 2 and your reading skills have to be up there too. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Slow again. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Well, there's nothing to swing with the right hand. You got to put it in place of the triplet, because if you're playing a swung, you're going off the triplet. I'm counting to swing the line, which is say my right hand. I'm going to play the figure with my right hand, but I'm still mentally thinking triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there's nothing to swing hard. It's just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I guess you could call this a mathematical approach. Okay, so what you're doing is I'm counting triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. When I'm playing my left hand, I'm actually playing what I'm counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and then I plug the right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and what you need to remember is you need to put it together with the triplet. You can't be taking your right hand in another zone and your left hand in a different zone with the triplet, because then you'll be in a different tempo. You know, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's all in the stick control book, all of that. or combinations of it. Okay, does that help you somewhat? I could slow it down a little bit more, give you a stronger, perhaps go backwards a little bit and give maybe a different or stronger approach to that. Is that okay with you, Tim? Did that help you? Because you're not swinging hard. And you can't be swinging too much. You have to swing in tempo. Now, I'm being very mathematical. If I'm counting one and and I look at, and if I'm playing the first part with my right hand, it'd be one and So now let's take the left hand and the right hand in that part. You have one and Simple. 1, 2. I don't understand when you say swinging too much. Your right hand and your left hand were not in conjunction with each other? Was that it? Now, if that helped you, that's great. I hope I helped you. And now, what we just did with the stick control book, if you remember, eliminating the rights and filling in with the lefts, you could apply that same approach or that same concept to this particular page. If I have the first measure, the first line of 34, and I'm swinging that, that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I fill that in with the triplet. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. All right, now just keep playing that over and over again. 1 and 2. Okay, I'm just mathematically putting it together. And we're going to do this next time on the drum set. You know, I fill in with the left hand and play all the rights all over the place on the tom-toms or to develop different textures and different sounds. Or, again, I'll play that line with my bass drum and I'll fill in with the left hand against the swing pattern. All of them have to be in unison with each other. I don't know if do you have Gary Shafee's pattern series? Let me try to give you help on that one. I usually use time functions that my online students have been working with. You have that? I have the book is over there. Tim, do you have that book? Time functions? He has what he calls the fatback series, and he has the elements of the triplet. Well, that's a good book, man. That's really a great book. I work with that with my online students, the time functions. And I work with the syncopation book and obviously the stick control book. And they're all related to the jazz time. For example, he does the components of a triplet, the first note of a triplet, just the second note of a triplet, the third note of the triplet, or combinations thereof against the jazz pattern. And I take that to the stick control book and use that as formulas. It's a great investment, man. That book has a tremendous amount of technique and information. Great book. My students just online just love that book. They drive me a little bit cuckoo, but that's all right. I am cuckoo already, so it doesn't matter. But it's a great book. A lot of good information. And I don't know if you watched the David Garibaldi interview I had, and we were talking about Gary Shafee. And Gary Shafee was, I don't know if you know, but he was the head of the percussion department at Berklee School of Music in Boston, Massachusetts, for maybe 10 years, 12 years. And he worked with that book. He wrote the book, rather, and it's actually the third edition I have. I have the first, second, and third editions. Because the first edition, you can't even see it anywhere. I worked so much at it. But that book, man, has helped me out and made me understand a lot of different concepts, and also opened up a tremendous amount of doors for me to be creative, which I love to be. I have that intensity to be creative with technique and exercising and whatever. And when I do, let me explain something. When I teach, I do not perform. I instruct. I teach. When I play, I don't sit there like this, looking like a robot. Okay, and all the stuff that I do work on when I teach and practice. When I go to the drum set, I play as musical and creative as I possibly can, because what that is, it's just the technique that I've come to with all the different books. And there's some good, really, really good books. What we've been working at on my online students, we've been working at the syncopation and the Chafee book, and obviously the stick control book. But also, I've been hitting Future Sounds by David Garibaldi and the Code of Funk and four-way coordination. And I have some really different kind of concepts, which I did learn from a friend of mine. That is Dennis Lee Fang. Uh, a reading approach. It makes a lot of fun for people who, what do I have to read for kind of attitude. And it develops a tremendous amount of different coordination. And I will go through that sometime if you remind me, Mr. Tim, when we do the live site. I'm not going to do that every week. What I'm going to do is do that occasionally, and I will make an announcement. Because, the drum pad is the drum pad, and that's, like I said, a great tool. I work on a drum pad, I teach on a drum pad, but I also work on the drum set, I teach on the drum set, and I play on the drum set. So I get all those components together. And I'd like to share that with you. Now, if you want today's PDF, do I have you on my mailing list, Tim? And whoever else is listening, do I have everybody else on my emailing list? I did leave my email on the top of the chat. If you do want the PDF for this, just email me and I will send it to you. And I will add you to my email list. Tim, are you on my email list? All right, if not, just email me. And you email me, I'll send them to you. And it'll tell me if you are on my email. You have my email on the top of the page? And for whoever else is in here, there's somebody else in here, or a couple other people, nobody's responding. But I don't know if they're doing this from an iPod or Android, or I don't know all that good stuff. All I know is it don't really work except a computer, on a computer. That's where you get the most out of it. You have my email, Tim? If not, I'll give it to you again. I heard of a guitar player, but you did mention to me, I think, was that your dad? And where are you from, Tim? Are you from the USA or Europe? Or where are you from? There's such a delay in this. It's insane. I think you did. You mentioned that to me. That's right. You emailed me. I'm sorry. I have your email. Okay, that was your dad. No, your dad, Jim. He was Jim Hall. I heard as a guitar player, but Jim Hall as a drum instructor. No, I didn't. Just tell me where you're from, USA or Europe or where. You don't have to say I'm from North New Jersey or whatever. Just tell me what state are you from, or what country you're from, or whatever. That would bring back memories of maybe I know him. West Virginia. Okay, that's cool. And that's a good school. And Texas has some. Texas State, as a matter of fact, has a great music program. I'm not certain who. I look at it all his videos all the time. One of the instructors there. But that's a good school. And you're from West Virginia. Okay. Maybe you could hook up and come up to the studio one time for a 4 or 5 hour session with me, if you'd like. Okay. It's just about time for me to close up. I hope I've helped somebody or anyone today, or gave you some information that opened up some doors, and hopefully I answered some of your questions. So before I do close it up, do we have any questions at all about anything that we've gone over? The singles and the double formula, and the filling in of the triplets and the syncopation book? Anything, gentlemen. Y for yes and N for no. If I see yeses, then I want the question. If I see N's, it means no, and I can close it up. Now there's 4 guys watching. Okay, hello, Mr. 4. You can get into the chat, I hope, and just say hello. I was telling everybody what I'm going to do next Tuesday at this time. Well, that's my pleasure. And that's what the Brotherhood of Drumming's for. Anyway, there's just besides you, Tim, there's a couple more thousand people in here. Everybody's afraid to hit onto the chat, and I don't know why. That's what it's about, talking to each other, interacting with each other. Anyway, like I said to Tim and whoever else didn't catch it, I'm going to say, next Tuesday, there will not be a YouTube lesson. I will be streaming from my website, and I will show drum set applications for the things that we have gone over the last couple of weeks. So you will need my email if you don't have the link to my site, and I will send you the link. And I'm doing 2 lessons. One will be at 12 noon. What's wrong now? One will be at 12. It's stuck. One will be at 12 noon on the drum set, and the other will be at 9 p.m. So it's going to be on the drum set. If you want to get the real benefit out of the show or the instructional thing, have the stick control book, the syncopation book, and the shaping book if you have it. Okay, gentlemen? So I'm going to close it down, and email me with any questions, and I will definitely help you. Yeah, it is crazy. It's just going on and off. I had to restart it 3 or 4 times, and I apologize. It's probably the weather and the traffic that's on the internet, and it does happen occasionally. Okay, so with that all being said, gentlemen, I'm going to have to close up and see you if you want to be back at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's crazy. That'd be great. Okay, gentlemen? Have a good day. And like I said, any questions, email me. And hopefully I could help out, or you could help me out, or whatever.